We just would like to inform everyone that the highest ranking form in Taekwondo is shaped like a swastika.
That's something.
That's all that I wanted to say. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna Draft House Drive, everybody.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to begin this with. This
Yeah, yesterday Quentin was hyping this cold open to me.
good opening point.
For a second, I thought it was gonna be at the Dallas World Aquarium.
No.
So we're gonna see a shark movie.
No,
It's what's it called again?
I honestly can't remember.
It was like Shallow. The
I
Shallows.
can't remember. I just know that there's a shark in it, so it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, well, for you especially.
Yeah.
Because Quentin is goddamn terrified of the ocean.
But I know so much about sharks, and I can scientifically make fun of the movie.
Yeah, I guess, but so can I. I'll just say Cribs the entire time, like I did with Finding Dory.
Oh my God, we're gonna ruin this movie because I think there's a possibility we're the only people in the theater, but I don't know.
Oh God, that would be great if we're the only ones in the theater. Oh, I'm waiting for that day where we can just fuck around and not get kicked out.
That would be, yeah.
Just ruin it for everybody.
Cribs.
Really ourselves Cribs.
Cribs.
Cribs. But yeah, this is our second episode this week, but really, we're not going to release the other one. We recorded an episode for the Iron Giant, but we're saving that for a rainy day, probably whenever I'm fucked off to Ohio or Florida or wherever else.
Yes.
So we're trying to build up a back catalog this summer.
Yeah, extra stuff.
Extras, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we also finished up that Summer Spooktacular Variety Hour, which we'll try to release first, considering how it's our oldest backlog episode. At least like half of it's our oldest backlog episode, but yeah.
Even the other half is.
Well, yeah, technically, yeah, because it's our only other backlog episode.
What?
No, that's a receipt from GameStop when I bought the Spider-Gwen pop figure last night.
Oh.
When I went to that other Pokemon tournament, and my brother won again. He even called his team a joke team, and he still kicked ass.
What do you mean? So he's like the eugenics officer for Pokemon, isn't he? For his Pokemon, at least, right? He's like, you have to have these specific traits.
Well, no. That's me, but he's competitive, so he likes to have it be like certain stuff.
He has the dumbass team. I remember now.
What
Where
dumbass team?
it's like the Jerry, Jeff, and
Oh yeah, Paul John Jim.
Paul John Jim. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not this time. But no, this time he built it with all Eevees except for the one required Pokemon that was determined that everybody had to have. And he named them Sparkle Kate, Zip Zap Cat. Let's see, he had Fire Kate, Moon Kate, and Sun Kate.
Did he ask for your input on any of these?
I named all of them.
Oh, of course he did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he already had, he was already going to name them that, but I was like, yeah, those are good names. Except he was going to name the Jolteon Zapdoggo.
No,
Zip Zap Cat. Yeah, Zip Zap Cat.
Zip Zap Cat.
Yeah. So he won. I got pretty far myself, but I got dunked on pretty hard by a ghost sword. And I'm just going to leave it at that because you know nothing about the Pokemon.
Nope.
So I'm just going to leave it as
I haven't known
possible.
anything about Pokemon since Diamond.
Yeah.
I think, wasn't Diamond the last one that I played? What came after Diamond?
Black and White.
Okay, yeah, Diamond was
Not
the last.
including the Heart Gold and Soul Silver remakes.
And Platinum.
And Platinum, yeah, but I mean that's
Platinum
that's
was
same
the
thing.
last one that I played.
Gotcha, that's just a remake, really. They decided to do an updated version.
And make Gartinia a lot easier to get.
Oh yeah, a lot easier.
Yeah.
But also in my week's news, I found my dad making deodorant.
Oh yeah.
I think it was this Tuesday on my day off. Actually, I don't know if I had that day off, but either way, I walked downstairs because I wanted to go grab some cotton candy grapes as a snack, and those things are fucking amazing. But I just open up the fridge and I see a big bowl of what I think is whipped cream.
Yeah.
It is not whipped cream. It is like a fluffed up weird goop deodorant that my dad made. And I was about to take a bite until I had it in my hands and I was smelling it. I'm like, this doesn't smell like whipped cream. So I go to my dad, hold my hand out and say, what is this?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's deodorant that I made. I'm like, out of what? And he goes like, out of coconut oil and some other weird
Gluten.
other weird shit. I'm like, but why make your own deodorant? And he's like, well, it's about cost the same and I like this better.
No gluten.
Like, but how do you apply it? And he's like, well, sometimes I just wake up in the morning, scoop out a little bit and slap it in my armpits and I'm good to go. So every time I see him now, I just imagine there's white goop hanging out in his armpits. I'm just like, oh, this is really weird. I don't like this anymore.
Yeah.
It was just so surreal. And then I saw him mixing it later that day. I'm like, why are you making more?
Yeah. Okay, so for me, this past week has been a very fun adventure with my coworkers. There's 3 things happened that were very interesting. The first thing is I finally got one of my coworkers, because they always make fun of me for liking Batman so much. They're like, "Oh, he's Batman guy," and I'm like, "Yes." I finally got one of them to come to Madness with me, and because he was searching for a hobby, and his initial search was Legos,
which are surprisingly more expensive than comics.
Yeah, it was like $150 at the ones he was looking at, and I was like, "No, you need to come with me." So I brought him to the comic book store, and I had him pick up Hush for Batman, and he's like, "Okay, thank you very much," and I dropped him back off, and I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And then later that day I show up, and he's like, "Oh my God," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I thought this was going to be easy to read. This is very difficult." He's like, "I thought I'd finish in one day," because he doesn't know English that well.
Yeah.
And what was the word that was troubling? Oh, susceptible. He saw the word susceptible, and I'm pretty sure he had a small aneurysm. Because he was just sitting there. He's like, "What is susceptible?"
Isn't this the same guy who bought like the kindergarten level English books?
No, different guy.
Oh, it's a different guy.
Different guy, yeah. This one is here permanently. The guy who was looking at, he didn't buy the kindergarten English books. He just looked at them and said they were too hard. I shit you not. I showed him kindergarten level English books, and he was like, "No, too much." And I went, "What else are we going to get you?"
Babby's First Dictionary.
Babby's First Dictionary, yeah. But, yeah, so when we were going to Madness, first he was expecting it to be like a regular sized comic book store, not fucking grocery store size.
Oh yeah, no, it's huge.
But, what was it? Oh, when we pulled in, he was like, "Oh, I've been here before." And I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And he's like, "Oh, I went to Starbucks one day to get Frappuccino," because he calls them Frappuccinos. He doesn't know how to make
is that his accent, or is it just?
I think he doesn't know how to make the sound, the
P sound.
And that relates to another thing, where at one day he was, I can't remember what he said, but he brought up that drink from Starbucks.
The Frappuccino?
Yes, the Frappuccino. And I'm like, "No, it's not Frappuccino. What's Frappuccino? What is Frappuccino?" And he's like, "No, Frappuccino." And I go, "Oh, Frappuccino." He's like, say again. And I go, Frappuccino. And I go, Frappuccino. And he goes, and eventually what it devolves into is 3 Taekwondo instructors sitting down, going as far as we can on the splits, going, and we're all just sitting there, and my boss walks in, and he just kind of looks at us, and I'm trying to...
Have you all just evolved into this like...
And I just look at him, and I'm like, "I'm teaching them English," and he goes, and there's a... We did that for a good 10 minutes.
Good God.
Oh, it was amazing. Because I was both reflecting on my life leading up to that point, and amazed at the fact that I can go through that with my coworkers and not give a shit.
Oh man, dude, I have some tales from work this past week myself. I'm gonna try to go through them in chronological order because I don't remember them too well. But there was somebody who was buying beer from me, and it was this lady. So she looked like in her 30s. She looked nice. She was very polite and all that. I asked for an ID out of politeness because, that's just what you do, and plus I wanted to make sure. And she doesn't pull out her driver's license. I'm like, wow, she pulls out this license, and I thought, well, this looks kind of weird. And I'm like, well, it's still a license. She says, yeah, it's a concealed handgun license.
Of course. We're in Texas. What do you expect?
And so I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess this is still accurate. Another time, I was just sitting in the express lane, and this was like right after Father's Day, so we still have some of the balloons out that are specifically for Father's Day. And there was a balloon that said "#1 Dad," and like a bunch of sport balls and stuff on it, and it says, "I play music, punch here." So, being the curious person I am, I punched the balloon.
Yes.
And then a very spooky rendition of Smash Mouth All-Star starts playing.
Serious?
I'm dead serious. It was like, ah! So I just hide in my corner for a bit, hoping no one sees me while I'm shitting myself in fear.
And you like Smash Mouth.
No, I enjoy them. Like
Yeah.
they're good, but no, it was like a weird like cover band of a cover band version, where it was like they're trying to make it as royalty free as possible,
Yeah.
but can't quite get it, and it's also a really tinny speaker inside a balloon that floats there. So I'm just like, oh god.
Here's the question: is it like a regular balloon, or is it like one of those
It was like a helium balloon.
foil balloons?
Yeah, it was like a foil helium
Okay,
balloon.
yeah.
Which is still weird when you hear a disembodied version of Smash Mouth just coming from above you.
Yeah.
Man, I was really afraid for a moment.
You know, when I was younger, I had I can't remember when I got this, but I got a Pikachu, like a little handheld balloon. You just kind of hold it. You hold the little stick, and then there's the balloon on the end, and it was Pikachu on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's really cool. That shit did not pop for as long as I had it.
Really?
Yes, I had that balloon lasted. I want to say like 8 years.
Jesus Christ.
I
Usually
don't
those
know.
things like last maybe 3 months before they start like leaking helium.
I have no idea how, but yeah, it lasted like 8 years, and it didn't even pop. We just threw it away.
Okay.
Yep.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it really was.
Then what else? Today, I broke both my computer and my coworker because I was entering some coupons in the computer because some lady got 2 of them, like just for Zyrtec or whatever,
Yeah.
and just doing everything. And then suddenly a thing pops up. It's like massive error, contact customer service. So I'm like, help! So they had to reboot my fucking computer while I'm just standing there, just like, well, this is fun. Got to send the lady to the next person over. And then I broke my coworker later on that shift because sometimes when it's like we have downtime and just one person is checking, if the person's next to him doing nothing, we just go over and help put stuff from the cart onto the counter. So she's just taking up the deli meat. So I just grab more of the meat and go, meat,
Beef.
give you meat, take the meat. And she just starts doubling over, crying in terror. And I just broke her. I think that's about it for all my work stories. Except for one time I found a pinwheel. And this is an early shift, so it's like 7 a.m. It's pretty much just me in the store.
Yeah.
We got another dude 2 checkout lanes over, and another dude in the deli area, which is, you can't fucking see them. They're just there. So there's like only 3 cashiers in the store. I find a fucking pinwheel, and I'm just blowing on it for like an hour. Spin. Just giggling to myself the entire time.
Oh, man.
And when somebody comes up, I just stick it in my back pocket, and I have a pinwheel on my ass.
Yep.
And I'm thinking like, yeah, this is pretty accurate for me.
Yeah. What was it? I have one more work story, and I don't know which one I like more. Is if I like the popping noise one better or this one, but yeah, there's this week after work. So this was like at the end of the day. We're cleaning up, and one of my coworkers turns to me and asks me a question I never thought I would ever be asked at work. He just turns to me and he goes, "Quentin, do you know what hentai is?" And I went, "What?"
What?
I was like, "I don't make it." Well, no, of course I don't. Of course I don't.
What is this?
I obviously don't know what that is.
hentai?
And they're like, and he's looking at me and he's like, oh, he's grabbing butt. And I say, what? And I'm trying to figure out what he means, because hentai definition to me is something entirely different from just grabbing butt.
Just grab butt.
And I'm just like, oh, hentai is the word for pervert in Korean.
Yeah, it's also that for Japan.
That's
too.
not what it means to me.
Yeah,
So-
clearly not. So I'm just. You mean that weirdo porn that sometimes people jerk it to and it's totally not me? No, I don't know what that is.
Exactly. Oh man, I had a large heart attack when that happened. They brought that shit up. I was like, no,
It's funny.
not at work.
I didn't have a moment that severe, but I definitely had a what moment last night with my brother, because we were dicking around in Target before the Pokemon tournament started, because I was looking for pop figures in general.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
when you get to the pop figure section, he sees the crossbones from Captain America Civil War, and he goes, "Is that Captain War Civil America?" I'm like, what the fuck? No.
Wait, did he actually mean it? Or
No,
did-
he meant it, and then he realized that he fucked up. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say?
Okay, I thought you meant he meant it as in he like said it,
Whoa, that dude was turbo.
but I thought that was a movie. You remember the movie Turbo? I remember you liked that movie.
No, I didn't ever see
The
it.
one about the snails.
Yeah,
You
I never
fucking tattooed that
Yeah.
shit on your bare ass thighs.
Yeah, I had
You're
like
wearing
8 of those
fucking
tattoos
short
on
shorts.
me once.
Why? Why were there so many tattoos of Turbo in the band? I don't understand.
Fuck if I know. I just had 8 of them, and I'm like, yep, I'm gonna apply them everywhere.
I did not understand.
They were my
because
tramp stamp for a day.
There was just one day where like 6 people had those fucking tattoos on, and I was like, why does everyone have tattoos from this shitty animated movie starring Ryan Reynolds?
It started Ryan Reynolds. What the fuck?
It was Deadpool playing that snail.
What the hell?
Also, let me add, that may be one of the stupidest plots for any movie I've ever heard of.
Yeah,
in my
Snail
entire
Go
life.
Fast.
No, not Snail Go Fast. Snail gets put into car engine, and then whatever's gasoline or nitrous or something gets into
yeah.
Snail becomes as fast as car.
Yeah.
That is not how shit works, man.
No, this is just basic chemistry. You should know this, Quentin.
Yes, so I'm
You
gonna go
know.
home and drink some nitrous.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You do that, and then you'll become as fast as lightning.
yeah.
You'll be good. I mean, if a snail can go fast as a car, imagine how fast you can go. And then,
Flash.
another thing from the Pokemon tournament last night is I got knocked out, so I was just hanging around, chatting it up with the employees, and because we've gotten to know each other at this point. And I found out in their merchandise section, they have an R2-D2 pizza cutter. That's not even the weirdest part. I found out it makes sounds.
It makes.
It makes sounds when you cut the pizza.
What do you mean?
Like it'll go beep boop or other stuff.
Yeah, well, I assume that.
Yeah. And, But no, that's not even the best part. In my head, I imagine going, yeah, imagine if it made the woo sound effect every time you cut the pizza, like the pizza screaming for help.
You know, there is like because you made that noise, there's like a 30% chance we'll get sued by Disney and Star Wars.
Probably.
Because they can probably copyright it.
Yeah. But then I brought it up with everybody else there, and they just all start fucking dying, and then we just start spamming a Star Wars soundboard with that over and over while the championship match is happening.
It's beautiful.
So, just a bunch of asshats sitting around giggling about pizza, and we're like, yeah, this is about right.
Yeah, see,
When you get a bunch of adults playing Pokemon together at midnight.
yeah, see, you go to the GameStops and you talk to the people and you're friendly with all the employees. There's one GameStop by my house, it's the one by the Walmart, and man, every time I go in there, I just keep my head down, and they know me because I've gone there like a shit ton of times. I went there for the Arkham Knight release, Midnight release last year. I went there for the Fallout release last year. I bought my Xbox from there, and that was a whole fucking shitstorm because my card wouldn't work, and they were like, we'll figure it out. And they know me. One of the guys like actively tries to talk to me, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to you.
You're like the most asocial fucking person, Jesus Christ.
I find what I like and then I stick to it. Let's put it that way.
That is true.
I am not much of a try new things kind of person.
At least you tried panty and stocking, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably because you just heard the name and like, yep, I'm gonna cream myself to this.
Damn straight.
Yep.
No, more
Even though-
importantly, I knew it was an animes, and I was like, yes, I shall.
Thankfully, there's only like 5 scenes you could actually probably jerk it to.
You would be
I'd
surprised.
say that's a low fucking number.
You would be surprised.
Yeah. Oh well. Surprisingly, there's not a whole lot of Rule 34 for that series. Not that I've looked.
Of course you have. and you just haven't looked in the right places.
No, I've looked.
You haven't looked in the right places.
What right places?
Yes.
Oh, but yeah, that's still one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna let my brother live down is that Captain War Civil America.
I hope you
What
saved
the
that
fuck?
picture, because I didn't.
I don't think I did, though it may still be part of my Snap story if I can get it fast enough.
I can check.
Yeah, I doubt it though. If not, between that and him pissing in the laundry basket, those are just two things he's never gonna live down.
Where's Bert? Yeah, I don't even see you have one.
Yeah, then probably not. It's disappeared.
No.
Damn. I have no clue how me and that thick-skulled Johnny are related. He is not a smart man.
Oh, is Thick Skull Johnny your brother?
Yeah.
I was genuinely wondering who this Johnny was.
As opposed to Thick Dick Nick.
And that's where we're gonna end it. We're gonna go watch a movie about sharks, people. Yeah. If the next part is filled with me screaming about aquariums, good luck.
Yeah. I mean, well, you know my brother's last name. I'm not gonna say it out loud because I'm pretty sure he's the only person in the country with that last name. But
Country or world, I think, is better.
actually, I think my dad did
prognosis.
do research on this. I think if you have that last name in the world, you are related to him.
Fantastic.
Mostly people in Italy. All right. Well, we'll see you guys after the show and after we traumatize the shit out of Quentin.
Sharks.
Peace.
Sharks.